Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Liz and today is going to be an updated eyeshadow palette collection. There is going to be a part 2 specifically including highlight, bronzers, and blushes, including palettes and singles and everything like that, but that's going to be in the part 2 of this video. So specifically today, this video is going to focus on my updated eyeshadow palette collection. Originally I did this about 3 years ago and the last one I did was 2 years ago. So the first one I did 3 years ago was about 69 eyeshadow palettes. The second time I did it, I doubled my eyeshadow palette collection, and then I have yet to count it, but at the end of this video I will let you know the updated specific number of eyeshadow palettes. And retrospectively in the second video, or the part 2 of this video, will also include the count of the blush, highlight, and contours. Quick disclaimer, there are some Jeffree Star Cosmetics products in this video just because I collected it that long ago and I'm not just going to throw it out. They were expensive and they're like not for nothing, but it is good quality despite the owner of the brand being horrific. So I have tried not to include any of his makeup, but let's be honest, it is in my collection. It is here, so we are going to include it. I have since depotted the Blood Sugar, the Blue Blood, the Alien palette, and the Conspiracy palette. So those all look a little bit different, and I will also insert a little video of what they are looking like now. I completely destroyed a couple of shadows, but that's with the process, including my carpet. But yeah. Second disclaimer, it's not going to be by brand because there's so much here and it's too much. Whatever I select, I'm going to go through this, and once I clear this, I'm going to go to the ones that are currently on my display. So these are all my single liquid eyeshadows and glitters. So the first one I have is the Plum on Stila liquid eyeshadow. The second one again is Stila. It is the Shimmer and Glow liquid eyeshadow in the shade La Dulce. The third one is again Stila. They're all Stila. Glitter and Glow liquid eyeshadow in the shade Diamond Dust. The fourth one is again the Glitter and Glow liquid eyeshadow in the shade Kitten Karma. This is the liquid eyeshadow in the shade Smoky Storm. This is the Shimmer and Glow liquid eyeshadow in the shade Vivid Amethyst. Okay, this is the last one. This is the Glitter and Glow liquid eyeshadow in the shade Into the Blue. The next three are all either pressed glitters or pressed pigments, and they're all from NYX. So this one is the NYX Glitter Brilliance in the shade GLI06 in the shade Crystal. So this is the NYX Foil Play. This is a cream pigment, and it is FPC P05 Happy Hippie. Okay, the next one is the Glitter Brilliance. It is for face and body, and the shade is GLI 11 Violet. Okay, moving on to the Marc Jacobs eyeshadow palette in the name 730 Reflux. I have no idea how to pronounce this. So the next one is the Marc Jacobs eyeshadow palette 710 Provocateur. The next eyeshadow palette is Marc Jacobs 790 Fantasy. Okay, the next Marc Jacobs eyeshadow palette is 840 Electric. So the next four are all Kaleidos. So this is the Futurism 5 Electro Turquoise. I have since kept the insert and just taped it. I wanted to keep their names. Futurism 7 Shashimi City. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing this wrong. The next one is the Futurism 6 Lunar Lavender. Okay, the next one is the Futurism 3 Astro Pink. So the next one is the Butter London Natural Goddess eyeshadow palette. Okay, so the next one are all the Urban Decay Naked palettes. Okay, this is the first one. This is Naked 2. Okay. This is Naked 3. And then this is Naked Heat. So the next two are both the Too Faced. This is Chocolate Gold. And I have used this to filth. Quite frankly, I've used this to filth. And this is the Better Than Chocolate. I picked this up because I've gone through this one so quickly and I just kind of wanted the similar color scheme. The next two are a collaboration between the British Museum and ZC. This is inspired by Alice in Wonderland, and again same movie inspiration. So the next two are the Violet Voss. This is the Essentials 1 palette. Some of these are in order because I already had them in order when I organize them. And this is the Essentials 2 Violet Boss palette. Alright, so the next one is the Morphe and Jaclyn Hill. And this is the Ring the Alarm eyeshadow palette. The next one, this is from Bad Habit. They no longer exist, but this used to be like a dupe brand. So this was the Bad Habit Inferno palette. This is Alter Ego, another dupe brand. And this is the Midsummer palette, another Anastasia Beverly Hills dupe. So this is the Dominique's Cosmetics Celestial Thunder eyeshadow palette. Again, another Dominique Cosmetics. This is the Rustic Glam. Gorgeous. Okay, this is the Ace Beauté Violet Sage palette. So this is the ColourPop eyeshadow sticks vault. Okay, so these are all individual eyeshadow sticks. This is the Metallic Much color stick kit, and this is the Mad About You matte color stick kit. So these are all the colors. Another one, this was the ColourPop and Star Wars collaboration. Okay, so two of these just popped out. So this is the Juvia's Place, the Nubian Royal palette. This is the Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star Cosmetics collaboration, and the eyeshadow palette is called Mini Controversy. Okay, so this is the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Mini Breaker palette. Okay. So this is a Cara Beauty Duo Summer Stunna. This is the Saharian by Juvia's Place eyeshadow palette. I don't know why I keep saying eyeshadow palette. They're all eyeshadow palettes. So the next few are all the Pure and Trolls collaboration. So this one is the Funk palette. This one is the Pop palette. This one is the Techno palette. This one is the Country Western palette. This one is the Classical. And this one is the Rock. So the next few are all the Huda Beauty's Obsessions palettes. So this one is the Electric. This one is Gemstones. This one is Sapphire. And this one is Amethyst. This one is Topaz. And this one is Ruby. And the last one from this one is Emerald. Okay, so these two are the Milani eyeshadow palettes. This one is number 4, Plum Basics. I got this when I was in high school, y'all. And this one is Bare Necessities. Primarily holding on to it for nostalgia. The next two are all the Tarte. This is the Tartelette Starlight palette. The next one is the Tartelette. One of these is actually a face palette, so I'm going to throw this in the other one. But this one is the Maracuja Juicy eyeshadow palette. Okay, so the next one is the Glamlight and Chucky Crazy in Love eyeshadow palette. So the next two are from Hip Dot. This one is the Imagination Mini. So yeah. And this one is All That Glitters. Okay. The next two are from Essence. This one is I'm With the Band, and it has both sides. And this one is Fairy Wings and Magical Things. So this one is the Makeup Revolution and Catwoman palette. This is the Rare Beauty eyeshadow palette called Magnetic Spirit. Okay. So the next few are Dose of Colors. This is Snow Angels. Okay. This one is Marvelous Mauves. Okay. This one is Sassy Siennas. So this is the Too Faced Life's a Festival. And this is the Glamlight Viva Taco palette. So this is the Too Faced Pretty Rich palette. So this is the Balm Foiled Again eyeshadow palette. This is the Ace Beauté Scarlet Dusk palette. This is a Pure Festive 2.0 palette. This is the Beauty by Pop Sugar. So this is the Danessa Myricks Beauty Lightwork Volume 5 I Am palette. I'm trying to make sure the insert doesn't fall. So this is Take Me Back to Brazil. This is the BH Cosmetics. So this is the Friends and Revolution collaboration eyeshadow palette. And again, this is another Bratz and Revolution collaboration. So this is the Nikkie Tutorials and Beauty Bay collaboration. eyeshadow palette. So this is the Harry Potter and ColourPop eyeshadow palette collaboration. And this is the Back to Hogwarts eyeshadow palette. Okay, again, another ColourPop, and this is the Aurora Struck in reference to Aurora Lights. This is the Urban Decay Elements eyeshadow palette. I keep it in this packaging for basically for storage purposes. Okay, so this is the Jeffree Star Cosmetics, and again, collaboration with Shane Dawson, the Conspiracy palette. Another Jeffree Star Cosmetics Alien palette. And this is the Glam Light Cosmetics Paint palette. The next two are from Violet Voss. This is the first iteration of Best Life, and then this is Best Life 2. She's looking a little dingy. Yeah, these pressed glitters are not holding in too well. But the next three are all Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is the Norvina palette. This is the Subculture palette. And this is the Modern Renaissance palette. The next few are all Zoeva. So this is the Caramel Melange. This is the Cocoa Blend. This is the Blanc Fusion. This is the Spice of Life. This is the Nude palette from the Balm Cosmetics. So this is Jeffree Star Cosmetics Blood Sugar palette. Okay, so this is, again, Jeffree Star Cosmetics Blue Blood palette. This is the Control Alt Glam Marilla and ColourPop collaboration palette. The next two are both Glam Light Cosmetics. So this is the Ice Cherry palette. And this is the Blue Raspberry palette. This is, again, Alter Ego. This is the Harmony palette. This is, again, Alter Ego, the Sakura palette. This is the Alter Ego, again, Shadow Kiss. So the next three are all from Juvia's Place. So this is the Nubian 2 palette. And this is the Tribe palette. And this is the Warrior palette. This is the Morphe 15B eyeshadow palette. Again, this is the Morphe 15S palette. And this is the Morphe 15D palette. So this was the collaboration between Sydney Grace and Mel Thompson. Unfortunately, she's no longer here as far as Mel Thompson goes. But this is the Tiny Marbles palette. Okay, this is the Tarteist Pro eyeshadow palette. This is an empty magnetic palette from Morphe. However, it contains the entire Urban Decay vault. These are a bunch of singles. I depotted them and just put them in here. And this is just an L'Oreal blush. This is the Bretman Rock and Wet n Wild collaboration palette. Okay, again, this is Bad Habit, the Midsummer Night palette. I believe this was supposed to do like a two-faced already. So this is, again, Jeffree Star Cosmetics Thirsty palette. This is the Tarte palette. Here's the thing. It has a bit of everything. It has several eyeshadows. Here it can contain mascara and eyeliner, a couple blushes, a couple bronzers, and then a highlight. So this is the Storybook Cosmetics collaboration with BoxyCharm. So their normal formula is not the same compared to what was released through BoxyCharm, just so you're aware. Okay, so these are the last palettes before I go into my display palettes. These are both empty magnetic eyeshadow palettes, and I bought a bunch of singles and put them in here. I printed out a grid, I put in the names, and then I laminated it. Some might say that's too much. That's fine, but I need to know the shades and everything. Alright, so I'm going to go left to right. So Bismuth, Mercury, Palladium, Forge, Graphite, Biome, Event Horizon, Alloy, Clover, Hyperspace, Proxima, and Andromeda. I'm sorry, I'm not saying that right. So this is how the front of the palette looks, and this is how, again, printed out, I believe 6x12, wrote it in the boxes, and then laminated it. So again, from left to right, and I'm definitely not saying this correctly, but sorry. Carcow, Palace, Firefly, Noodle, Mariana Trench, Black Forest, Great Barrier, Pelvice, Flourish, Pioneer, Blazing Star, Heather, Hydrosphere, Nebula, Magnitude, Singularity, Scarab, Supernova, Penumbra, Eclipse, Mesosphere, Helosphere, Sparse, or Parsec, and Redshift. I'm so sorry, I struggled through that. Okay, so we are getting down to the wire. This is the last of my eyeshadow palette collection, and these are all, like I said, the ones that are on display. This is the Glam Night Ice Cream Dream palette. This is the Glam Light Cake palette. On the back it does say the names, but it does say it on the actual palette itself anyways, but yeah. And then on the back it says like nutritional facts. This is the Glam Light Pizza palette, and even the names. Okay. I really don't like the cheese the way it looks, but that's just me. This is the Glam Light Cosmetics Burger palette. Okay, so the next few are all Beauty Bay. Okay, so this is the Bright palette. This is the Earthy palette. Okay, this is the Midnight palette. This is the Fiery 2.0 palette. This is the Berries palette. Okay, so this is the ABH Nervina Pro Pigment palettes 1 through 4. This is the second one in the collection. This is the third one in the collection. And this is the fourth one in the collection. This is the BH Cosmetics Zodiac palette, Love Signs. Okay, so this is the Becca eyeshadow palette. I have no idea what the name of this is. Again, so the next three are all from Alter Ego, and they're all duping Natasha Denona. I just don't remember which ones. Okay, this is the Canyon palette. This is the Blooms palette. This is the Goddess palette. Again, from Alter Ego, this is the Artemis palette. This is the Morphe and Manny MUA Glam palette collaboration. This is Manny MUA's own brand, so this is the Lunar Beauty Nude Prism palette. And again, Lunar Beauty, this is the Moon Spell palette. So the next three are all BH Cosmetics. This is the Solar Flare. This is the Aurora Lights. And this is the Galaxy Chic palette. So the next two are from Jeffree Star Cosmetics. Okay, this is the Jawbreaker palette. I'm not going to say the name of this palette, you can clearly see, but I don't want to get demonetized. But yes. This is the Tarte Beauty. Unfortunately, this brand is no longer. This is the Michaela and Glam Light palette. This is the Morphe 35T palette, Sweetest Tea. This one fell out, unfortunately, but it was like a purple color. This is the infamous Jaclyn Hill palette by Morphe Collaboration. So this is the Ciate London, the Editor palette. One of them came broken. This is the Revolution, Makeup Revolution Forever Flawless Constellation palette. This is the Fenty Beauty Moroccan Spice palette. This is no longer available. So this is the Athena palette that's supposed to be a dupe for the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette. Okay. This is the Athena palette, and then this is the actual Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette. So the first one is Bad Habit. This is the Aphrodite, and then it's supposed to be a dupe for the Huda Beauty Rose Gold palette. This is her second palette. She reformulated the first original palette. This is the Aphrodite, and this is the Rose Gold remastered palette. So the next few are all the Nomad Cosmetics. This is the Iceland Fire and Ice. I'm assuming it's Cartagena Mágica. It's based off Colombia, so there's no specific name for this. Obviously it's in Japanese, but it just says it's based off Tokyo, Japan. But yeah. So this is the America Parks palette. This is the Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde palette. So the next two are from Bad Habit. So this is the Retro Love palette, and I believe this is supposed to be for a dupe for the Subculture palette. So this is the Aurora palette. This is supposed to be a dupe for the Anastasia Beverly Hills Prism palette, which is no longer in existence. So I'm glad at least I have this. So this is the BoxyCharm Hello Charmer eyeshadow palette. So this is the Lunar Beauty Life's a Drag facelift. Originally it was just Life's a Drag, but he has since reformulated and made some of the shades smaller. This is the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Androgyny palette. Again, Jeffree Star Cosmetics Beauty Killer. The next three are all Pat McGrath. If I'm getting my Roman numerals correct, I believe this is 9. So this is the Mothership 9 Utopia Dream. So it opens up like this, and it does come with this card. I just put it right in here. Okay, so this is the Mothership 10 Moonlight Seduction. Okay, and I didn't show you prior, but the backs look like this, specifically the Mothership palettes. And I feel like once you have one of the palettes, you kind of have all of them, because she kind of uses the similar transition shades throughout. So this is the Mothership 8 Divine Rose 2. Okay, so all of these are Cara Beauty. I have collected quite a few. This is Girls Just Want to Have Sun. This is Orange Pop. They did come out with a purple haze, which I specifically am craving for. So this is pretty much a trilogy. So the first one is Flower After Hours, Before the Party, and Life of the Fiesta. Okay, so this is Across the Rainbow. So again, another trilogy. So this is Poetry of Love, issue 1. This is issue 2, Starry Eyes. And then this is issue 3, Make a Statement. This one is You Had Me at Aloha. This one is Gentle Teaser. This one is the Essentials palette. It's quite similar to ColourPop Bare Necessities. This one is Havana Club. So this one is Like Totally. Sorry, I had to. This one is Like Totally. Okay, so this is it. So again, these are all custom eyeshadow palettes that I created through Lethal Cosmetics. I'm sorry if you can't really see because it's kind of laminated, and I have a ring light going, but this is it. So this is the Emerald palette. So I'm gonna go left to right. Sigil, Mirage, Vertex, Crypto, Lucid, Aether, Overdrive, Defiance, Vertigo, Equinox, Symbioticism, and Lithium. So again, this is what I call these palettes. So I called this one the Amethyst palette, so left to right. Backdraft, Arcade, Covet, Euphoria, Descendant, Enigma, Synth, Revolve, Incarnate, Mainframe, Rebirth, and Spirit. So this is what I call the Opal palette, again left to right. Serene, Idol, Astral, Arsenic, Nymph, Inhabit, Venom, Talesman, Ascension, Aerial, Equilibrium, and Stargaze. Okay, so give me one moment. I'm gonna put some of the palettes back into their display so I can have an outro, and I'm gonna count them for you, and then we'll come back with the final number. So basically the grand total. Since filming this video, I did notice a couple things. One being I miscounted when I originally filmed, and 2, I have since added 5 eyeshadow palettes to my collection, which actually brings the total to 184 eyeshadow palettes and 26 individual eyeshadow products, which includes the liquid shadows, the eyeshadow sticks, and the glitters. So now that brings the total to 210 products in total. So I did want to provide the most accurate reflection of my eyeshadow palette collection. So the customized palettes that I made for Lethal Cosmetics, I counted those as palettes. If you watch this video all the way through, comment down a little cat emoji. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for part 2 that's going to specifically specify highlighter, blush, and contours. Like, comment, subscribe because you just make me say this. And yeah, bye!